the semi-automatic rifle that the Democrats want to ban as being fully automatic. It's not. You can't purchase that. It's illegal.
They say they just want to regulate guns. They don't. They want to abolish guns.
And in 15 years, we haven't gotten gun laws changed and reformed.
There are some things, inalienable rights, that you cannot justly take away from a free and equal human being.
With all that's going on in this country, people are worried. It's not just Democrats. It's not just people who live in urban areas.
House officially announced $10,000 to carry a gun. An irony in armed policy. In a surprising move, the United States House of Representatives has approved an allocation of up to $10,000 per member for home security measures. This decision raises pertinent questions, particularly in light of the recent ban on certain arms implemented ostensibly to ensure public safety. Mark Smith, constitutional attorney and prominent Second Amendment advocate, highlights this apparent contradiction. While ensuring the safety of elected officials is paramount, this move prompts reflection on the perceived disparity between members of Congress and ordinary citizens. Why are representatives granted substantial funds for security equipment along with an additional $150 per month for monitoring? It's essential to consider whether these lawmakers who influence critical policies are also the ones advocating for initiatives like defunding the police and implementing no-bail systems. These policies may inadvertently exacerbate public safety concerns.
That somehow, if we've not served in a combat zone, that we don't care about protecting the lives of our constituents.
It goes on to say that we have a right to a loaded handgun unlocked in the home in anticipation of self-defense and for all lawful purposes.
Why is the ATF trying to say a pistol's no longer a pistol? If you use a pistol brace, it's a short barrel rifle.
The semi-automatic rifle that the Democrats want to ban as being fully automatic. It's not. You can't purchase that. It's illegal.
There's something gun-crazed about our country that we need to deal with. This isn't going to stop all the killings, but it'll stop some.
The supreme power in America cannot enforce unjust laws by the sword.
Furthermore, this development draws attention to the broader debate surrounding arm regulations. Those who support the right to bear arms contend that citizens should have the means to protect themselves and their families. In this context, the allocation for member home security underscores a potential inconsistency in the approach to arm control. It prompts a vital conversation about the necessity of balanced policies that safeguard both public safety and individual rights. In decision, the House's decision to provide substantial funding for member home security raises thought-provoking considerations. It sparks a dialogue about the differing approaches to security measures and arms regulations. While prioritizing the safety of elected officials is undoubtedly crucial, this move serves as a poignant reminder of the ongoing debate surrounding Second Amendment rights and public safety concerns. It remains to be seen how this allocation will resonate with the broader discourse on armed control and the protection of individual liberties. Implications for the Second Amendment. The recent decision by the Sergeant-at-Arms in the U.S. Congress to allocate up to $10,000 for home security equipment prompts an intriguing perspective on the relationship between armed rights and personal safety. This development offers an opportunity for proponents of the Second Amendment to advocate for a unique approach that aligns with their beliefs. Those who support the right to bear arms could consider requesting a portion of the allocated funds, around $2,000, for the installation of a comprehensive home security system. This approach ensures that members of Congress can safeguard their residences without compromising their stance on arm ownership. This allocation would be in line with the approximate cost of a robust security system. However, what distinguishes this proposal is the potential reallocation of the remaining funds. With the bulk of the budget still available, members could invest in other security equipment that complements their chosen approach to home safety. This innovative strategy leverages the allocated resources while demonstrating a commitment to both personal protection and the Second Amendment. Furthermore, an even bolder suggestion emerges. Members of Congress who staunchly support the Second Amendment might request the funds to procure personal arms, including those recently included in the list of banned arms. This paradoxical approach would not only serve as a symbolic statement, but also have far-reaching implications for future debates on arm control.
There are some things, inalienable rights, that you cannot justly take away from a free and equal human being.
They say they just want to regulate guns. They don't. They want to abolish guns.
Here's a gun I carry every single day to protect myself, my family, my wife, my home.
And in 15 years, we haven't gotten gun laws changed and reformed.
The Soviets instituted gun control and millions were killed. 20 million dissidents were rounded up and exterminated.
The implications of such a request are profound. It challenges the conventional narrative surrounding armed regulation and personal security, highlighting the complexities and nuances within this discourse. By advocating for a unique allocation of security funds, members of Congress could set a precedent that recognizes the importance of self-defense while acknowledging the need for comprehensive security measures. Additionally, this proposal opens the door to potential legal implications and further discussions on the balance between individual rights and public safety. It introduces a novel perspective on resource allocation within the context of personal safety, creating an opportunity for constructive dialogue and potential policy adjustments. In decision, the allocation of funds for home security equipment in the U.S. Congress presents a unique opportunity for advocates of the Second Amendment. By strategically requesting a portion of the allocated budget for personal arms, members can challenge conventional narratives and promote a balanced approach to personal safety. This proposal carries significant implications for the ongoing discourse on armed rights and regulations, paving the way for future discussions on this critical issue. Empowering Second Amendment advocacy. In a compelling turn of events, members of the U.S. Congress have been granted up to $10,000 each for bolstering their home security. This development prompts an intriguing proposal that could potentially redefine the conversation around armed rights and personal safety within the hallowed walls of Congress. Imagine if these lawmakers, in support of the Second Amendment, were to request a portion of these allocated funds specifically for the acquisition of arms such as AR-15s and AK-47 semi-auto rifles. This bold move would not only demonstrate a resolute commitment to the principles enshrined in the Second Amendment, but also serve as a powerful message to those who might question the resolve of armed advocates within Congress. By channeling a portion of the allocated budget towards arms, members of the Congress would effectively utilize taxpayer funds to affirm their belief in the right to bear arms for self-defense, precisely as intended by the framers of the Second Amendment. This symbolic act could potentially resonate with like-minded individuals both within and outside of Congress, reaffirming their dedication to safeguarding the fundamental rights of American citizens. This proposal is not only a thought-provoking idea, but also a potential catalyst for change. It challenges the conventional allocation of resources for home security and injects a new dimension into the ongoing debate surrounding armed rights.
Acquiring the registration and licensing of firearms played a crucial role in the carrying out of 20th century genocide.
Assault weapons were banned from 1994 to 2004. It was constitutionally permissible.
With all that's going on in this country, people are worried. It's not just Democrats. It's not just people who live in urban areas.
People had a right, based on the Second Amendment, to protect their homes with reasonable weapons.
Rather than merely investing in traditional security measures, this approach introduces an element of empowerment through personal arm ownership. Of course, this suggestion isn't without its complexities. It would necessitate a nuanced discussion on the responsible ownership and storage of arms, as well as considerations for training and adherence to relevant laws. However, by broadening the subject, members of Congress have an opportunity to foster constructive dialogue on the intersection of personal safety, the Second Amendment, and the allocation of public funds. In supposition, the proposal to allocate funds for home security in Congress opens the door to a unique opportunity for advocates of the Second Amendment. By contemplating the allocation of a portion of these funds towards arms, lawmakers can make a powerful statement about their unwavering support for the right to bear arms. This suggestion has the potential to influence the discourse surrounding armed rights, inspiring meaningful conversations and potentially paving the way for a new approach to personal security within the halls of Congress. Public response and perception. The announcement of the House's decision to allocate $10,000 for each member's home security, including potentially arms, has elicited a mixed public response and ignited discussions on various fronts. The public response is diverse, reflecting the deeply polarized views on arm ownership. Some see it as a respectable step towards personal security, while others view it as a potentially dangerous allocation of taxpayer funds for arms. For those who staunchly support the Second Amendment, this announcement is seen as a positive move towards acknowledging the importance of arm ownership in personal defense. They argue that it sets an example for responsible arm ownership and bolsters arguments for future restrictions. On the other hand, there are concerns about the potential misuse of arms, particularly in domestic settings. Critics worry about the safety implications, emphasizing the importance of rigorous training and responsible storage to prevent accidents or unauthorized access. The public also weighs in on the safety of elected officials. Many express concern about the potential threats and risks they face in their roles and view the allocation as a necessary measure to protect those in public service.
Why do we have the Second Amendment? Is it to hunt? Sure.
They are weapons of war and weapons of death and weapons of destruction that we should not permit out here.
Owners, many of whom are disabled veterans, must destroy the braces or their weapons.
This will not do any good, it will harm Americans, and it undermines our foundational liberties.
This decision may influence the broader arm control debate. Advocates for stricter arm control may view this as contradictory, especially if they interpret it as public funds indirectly supporting arm ownership. It may intensify calls for more stringent background checks and regulations. Some members of the public appreciate the acknowledgement of their unique security needs of elected officials. They see this allocation as a practical response to the real threat that representatives may encounter in their line of duty. The allocation may be seen as a symbolic gesture of personal responsibility. It could encourage discussions on the role of individuals in safeguarding their own security, whether through arm ownership or other means. In conclusion, the public response to the House's decision reflects the deeply entrenched divisions on arm ownership and personal security. While some view it as a step towards responsible arm ownership and individual safety, others express concerns about safety, misuse, and the potential implications for arm control advocacy. This announcement has further amplified the ongoing debate on Second Amendment rights and the role of government in regulating arms. Well guys, that does it for today's video. See you next time, and bye for now.